Hey everybody, welcome to Elder Geeks Elder Speak. Today is Sunday, July 13th, 2014. It might also be Monday, July 14th, 2014, depending on how quickly this renders and how quickly I get it up to YouTube. My name is Randy Asenchak. I'm the editor of ElderGeek.com. In the background today, you're going to be seeing gameplay footage for Total War Shogun 2. The reason why I've been playing that is because the other games that I've been playing have not been for review's sake. They've been more for features, for video features that are be coming up soon on the site. One of which is Chrono Trigger, which I'm burning my way through and having an absolute blast doing it. And I would love to just throw that footage up, but I want to save that for 25 games. And then I also have some footage from another game, but I'm not going to talk about which one it is. But hopefully you guys are all going to enjoy the feature videos that are coming up soon. We're in the middle of the summer lull right now. I mean, it's official. There's like no good games coming out right now. Sure, there have been a few good games that have come out, but it's also very, very slow in how many good games are coming out, and it's very slow in what kind of news has been coming out as well. So it was a great time for me to take some time off from work and from Elder Geek to go and recharge my batteries. So the family and I, we went and we did, the fun vacation-y stuff. You can see I got a little bit of sun. But anyway, today I didn't want to talk about why I was away or why I'm back, but I really wanted to talk more about this really interesting series being posted by Mike Rose on Gamasutra about the ethics of paying for YouTube coverage. I think many people out there would be really surprised to hear that, this actually does happen quite a bit, and it's super unfortunate. Now, I can't say with any certainty, but I have heard through many sources that some larger YouTubers out there, some whom you might not think would accept payment for coverage of their games, actually do regularly take payment for coverage on their channels. And it's not just Let's Players either. Of course, I can't say who they are because that would just be really kind of crappy. I have no proof of this, but I've heard from several reliable sources that some of the larger YouTubers out there actually do take payment. But anyway, there's totally interesting article, an investigation series that this gentleman, Mike Rose, is putting together. And I thought this was interesting. I wanted to share some of the pie charts with you. Have you ever received money directly or indirectly from a game developer or publisher for recording videos of their games? And people who have less than 5,000 subscribers, 98% of them have said no. I'm actually still surprised that there were people that had less than 5,000 subscribers who actually did accept payment for coverage of their games. I mean, when Elder Geek was down at 5,000 subscribers, it was hard to even get a hold of public relations teams to even try to get review copies, let alone like having somebody try to offer payment for coverage on our channel. But that's sort of less interesting. But what's more interesting is that on channels more than 5,000 subscribers. Now the range was between 5,000 subscribers and I believe 1 million subscribers, and it was between 5,000 and 1 million, and they surveyed 141 YouTubers. So that's a pretty good amount of YouTubers out there. 141 is a lot. I did not get this survey, but out of the 141 people questioned, 69% said no, that they had not taken payment for recording or for showing videos, but 21% said yes. I was really kind of upset about that. Now, there are people out there that say that there's a difference, that it matters. Before I go into that, I will say that, yes, I have had people come forward and offer Elder Geek money to to do like videos of their stuff. Some have actually come forward and actually said, hey, we'll pay you to do a review. I've never done those reviews. I've never accepted payment for a review, and I never will. But the thing is, when that happens, on the few circumstances, I think it maybe happened like 3 times. On those few circumstances where it did happen, it was never a big company. I can say that right now. It was never like EA or Ubisoft or like Bethesda or Activision. Like, none of them have ever come and said like, hey, you want some cash for a review? That's never, ever, ever happened. It was always for smaller games. And what's even weirder is whenever that kind of deal did come my way, it always seemed to be not from their primary PR department. Like most game companies out there, the way it works is they will do their own internal, public relations if they've got the team for it. And if they don't have the team for it, then they'll hire a public relations firm to handle all of their public relations for them. A lot of game companies use the same public relations teams, like they'll use the same companies, but those companies will break down their teams to work with, be like, okay, you guys go work with this company, you guys work with this company. But whenever I got those shady, like, hey, will you take money to cover stuff, it was always from almost like one-off PR people. Like, it almost seemed like as though they were public relations teams that were trying to prove something for themselves, like that they wanted to prove that they could get the views and therefore earn bigger and bigger clients. So, that's happened. Now, again, from a few people, I do know that some game companies have no problems with paying YouTubers for coverage, saying like, hey, we've got, X amount of dollars laying by. Let's see if we can offer so-and-so if they'll cover our game, because whether it's good coverage or bad coverage, it's still at least coverage and more people hear about our game. The bigger problem isn't right now of developers getting bad reviews. It's almost like the bad review isn't the problem. It seems now that the problem is just being heard about in the first place. I think we're in a day and age now where there are just literally just too many games out there. There are so many games to play right now. It is almost impossible to play them all, let alone play them all well and play them all to completion. I would bet that you could play 2 or 3 games every day, on PC alone, and you probably still won't hit all the releases that come out between indies and major developers and alpha releases and early accesses and all that kind of stuff. So it's next to impossible to get coverage for every single game out there. So sometimes just getting coverage is the name of the game. Now, the ethics of this, of accepting payment for coverage. If you accept payment for coverage, I would hope that as a YouTuber that you would say, hey, we got payment for this. This is a paid advertisement for XYZ game. Hey, we're doing this, this feature video series with other YouTubers because it is part of a paid program from, this game developer. I hope that never comes in the form of like a review. I think that if you receive payment for any type of review or for any type of critical feedback at all, I think that's just 100% wrong. Like wrong. Those two should never ever meet, ever, in the middle. I don't think it's unethical to get review copies, because in order for reviewers to pay for every single game that they review, they would go absolutely broke just from paying for all the games just to cover them. So, that kind of keeps reviewers above the waterline. But, getting actually paid to review a game is absolutely wrong. Now, for a little while there, we being ElderGeek.com, we did have a sponsor on our YouTube channel. And I'm sure everybody remembers that we had Gamersgate as our sponsor. And that was all they were. They were just a sponsor. Knocking my mic around here. But that's all that Gamersgate was. They were just a sponsor to our channel. They had zero say in what games we covered and how we covered them or anything. It's unfortunate that we don't have that relationship anymore. But, the way YouTube is changing, I don't think I can keep that relationship with them anymore. It was a good company to work with. The relationship basically was they would get an advertisement on our channel. Like at the beginning of the video, it would say this video is sponsored by Elder Geek. But in exchange to get a game, that was it. And it was just because at the time when we were using them, we were so small, most developers had not even heard of us, or, I couldn't even get a PR person to respond to an email or a phone call or anything. So that was just a way for me to just get the games, to record them, to play them. Gamersgate was great. They didn't care at all. In fact, every once in a while they would say, hey, we haven't heard from you in a week. Do you need any games? They liked the relationship. And what was best was Gamersgate is, completely third party. It doesn't matter what review we gave the game. It had no effect on their sales or anything like that. They don't develop games. They don't publish games. So it didn't matter to them what scores we gave. It was probably beneficial to them because we were reviewing games that were sometimes within their library. So if we were reviewing a game in their library, then people would have been able to buy the game from them, or they could have bought them from Amazon or Steam or anywhere else. But that was the relationship. And we made it very clear at the beginning of all of our videos, like, hey, here is a video and it's sponsored by somebody. So if you want to dig in a little bit deeper to it, go right ahead. But in terms of like getting paid for a review directly from a developer or a publisher, it just seems massively wrong. Now, the gray area kind of comes in with Let's Players. Let's Players are more considered as entertainment, and that's the big gray area right now. Now you could possibly be seeing Let's Players, and you might think to yourself, I'm going to go watch somebody play the latest, Call of Duty, and I'm going to watch a Let's Player do it, and I want to see if I'm going to buy the game based on how they're playing it or based on their commentary while they're playing it. In their mind, Let's Players are entertainers, and many Let's Players are just that. They're just entertainers. But if you're watching a Let's Player thinking to yourself, I want to get some critical feedback on this game, you might be, swimming in some dangerous waters there, because Let's Players, are kind of falling in this nebulous area that, yeah, they could take payment to cover this game because they are entertainers. They are not reviewers. They are not a primary critical source of information. So I guess I just wanted everybody to kind of be aware of this, that this is happening, and to be careful as to where you watch your game coverage, and so on and so forth. Read up on in this article. It's actually totally fascinating. He has a ongoing series with this. So there you have it. I do believe that if a reviewer takes payment for a review, I think that they should say it in the beginning, like clear as day. This review is sponsored by Activision. This review is sponsored by Bethesda. This review is sponsored by EA. This review is sponsored by whatever public relations. Let players know. I mean, that's just basic ethics right there. I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time before, government intervention will happen with this kind of thing. It will happen soon. I mean, not within the next couple of months, but within the next couple of years, I would say that that government might step in and do something and say something. And you might start seeing YouTubers getting, fines for this type of thing. It would be interesting if it did come through. But that's that. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there. Check out this guy's stuff, and to let you know that, nope, I will never be taking payment for any type of coverage. Period. End of sentence. I mean, any feature video that I decide to do, I'm doing it on my own because I think that it's neat. Like in the Get Off My Lawn series, if I ever get a chance to get back to that, or heck, even the 25 games from my son series. Like there we go. Like that is the perfect example of a feature series that is done for entertainment sake and not for critical sake. That series will never ever be sponsored by any of the game companies that are like within that. I will never be taking payment from Nintendo or from any other company that is going to appear on that list, to have a game appear on that list, or for me to talk about that game. That just seems itchy to me. Anyway, that's it. I've already talked way longer than I thought I was going to. I just wanted to say thanks again for everybody for watching the most recent episode of 25 Games for My Son. An absolute pile of work went into that episode, and not just from me in the writing and the drawing or anything like that, but also within the musicians. The amount of work that the musicians was probably equal the amount of work that I put into that episode. And then Phil Summers actually did the drawing for the album, which turned out, or for the album cover, which turned out to be amazing looking. And check it out. Tell some friends about that too. It's sad that video has less views than my average, video review, but give it a chance if you haven't watched it before. It's good stuff. That ought to do it for me. Oh, one other thing. I am going to be at MagFest 8.5. That happens in September. Let me look that up real quick. MagFest 8.5. MagFest happens. MagFest 8.5 happens in September, from September 12 to 14, and this time it's going to be at the Hilton, back at the old Hilton in Alexandria, Virginia. So I'm going to be heading down there and spending a couple of days. I'm not going there as a guest. I'm not going, so I don't think I'm going to be doing any panels. I don't think. I might, if I could think of something good to talk about for half an hour or so. I'm not going down as a table. I'm just going down to meet up with some friends and to enjoy a few days and to listen to some live music and play video games and forget about the outside world for a few days. So hope you join me there. If you do go, hit me up, say hello, and hopefully we'll beat each other up in Street Fighter or something. But that ought to do it for me. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.